Holly, I'm sorry to do this to you, but you're not old enough to know this. But going back to Margaret Thatcher days, she brought in assured short-hold tenancies so that landlords could be sure of getting their properties back after a fixed term.
Yeah.
So that it brought a lot more properties into the rental market to solve the housing crisis, because we had one then as we have one now.
Yeah.
But this seems to be an absolutely retrograde step.
Yeah,
because you're going back to saying you've got a tenant, you're stuck with it.
Yeah, and that's the concern for landlords, and that's why you are seeing.
Why on earth is the government bringing this in? What's the purpose?
The aim is to give more stability in the market, but and I can see some of the logic and some of the way they're going. But if they don't reform the housing courts, people won't have the faith that they'll be able to get their property back once they establish one of those grounds. So yeah, it is a concern, and that is why you're seeing lots of landlords exit the market.
Well, the courts that I sat in only deal with criminal matters, not commercial or housing matters. I mean, that's for the county court. But I do speak to the people involved in county court, and I mean, you can spend a year and a half waiting at the minute.
Yeah, and some courts are much worse than others. Very much depends where you are. It's a bit of a postcode lottery where you are in the country. And it's not just getting the possession order at the hearing. Most of the time, particularly if people are waiting to be rehoused by the local authority, they're staying put until a bailiff comes, which can take, several more months.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think the key question here is local authority. Yeah. At one time, if you made up your mind either through financial constraints, which there's no bad commercial financial constraints to have a rented property throughout your life for your family, nothing wrong with that, but historically the council would provide that. And now the councils haven't got the money, they're being pushed into selling properties, not being allowed to invest in rental properties again with that money, and so we're just going backwards here, aren't we?